what's the benefit? What's the benefit? Why would you even want to do it? What's the benefit to us?
To reauthorize it and try and reopen it up?
No,
so we
no,
can
no.
make
What is
money?
the benefit of that pipeline flowing through vulnerable areas that need that oil to with our farmland, with our waterways? What is the benefit for us as a country that pipeline get built? What's going on, Clips? What's happening?
Okay. So there's one thing you said with the last person. He brought up the Nord Stream pipeline, and you said that was canceled before Biden got in office. Why was that one of his first?
Keystone XL.
Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a different pipeline. Okay. Well, why was it the first executive order that Biden made was to stop the expansion?
Well, it wasn't. It was one of the 80-something that he put forth. But the reason being is because it had already been ruled to be illegal. Like the whole process of where they were going to put it violated the Clean Air and Water Act. This was determined in federal court and then by the Supreme Court in 2020. So the project would have taken at least another 5 years just to conceptualize. And then the earliest that it could even begin to pump oil would be by 2030 or probably later.
Okay, but Biden was still the one in charge of the final.
And again, just to point out, it doesn't make your argument because that oil doesn't go to the U.S. If anything, it actually caused oil prices to go up in the Midwest.
No, that's not true.
Because the oil that they would, that is true. The oil that they would use for the Keystone pipeline that is in operation right now could be moved from the Keystone to the Keystone XL, where it could be shipped overseas for a higher price. So it could actually cause oil to go up. But regardless, it's not true for us.
Yes, it is though. Like because if the U.S. makes oil and exports oil, that helps the cost of our oil. Like the cost of oil goes down if our exports go up.
The U.S. wasn't making oil, dude.
Well, yes, because Biden stopped the plan.
And us sending oil
this was
over
a Canadian-owned pipeline, not to be distributed across the United States.
And the U.S. would still make money for having the pipeline go across our entire country.
No, actually, part of the deal
Yes.
was they would get less insurance rates, so they wouldn't have to pay as much if the pipeline broke and spilled that nasty ass oil onto our land. That oil goes overseas. It does not stay here domestically. We do not have the ability to refine it. I want to make that clear.
Okay.
We do not have the ability to refine that oil.
So Tommy, if we pump oil in the U.S. and then we export it overseas, does that make the price of oil go up by exporting oil that we make?
Listen, there are global oil markets and there are local oil markets. Globally, it could help alleviate. Locally, it won't matter because we have different oil prices than England does for a reason.
Okay, sure.
Canada is
forced to sell
to us. Canada is forced to sell to us, okay? If we allow them ports, they can't sell to us anymore.
Okay, sure. Like the reason I brought that up in the first place was because in the last person that came up here, you guys told him that Biden had no part in ending that. And the first thing you admitted was that Biden did have a part in ending that. So thank you for saying
Biden
that.
ended the permit.
We can move on.
Biden ended the permit. He did not. The disingenuous. He ended the permit. Right. He did not cancel the pipeline. The pipeline was canceled in 2018 and affirmed by the Supreme Court. You guys are trying to say that he canceled it, which isn't true. The only thing that was canceled was the ability to rewrite where that was going to go and then to reissue it and then to build it. And so
was he not able to sign off on the permit? If he got rid of the permit, was Biden also not able to sign off on it?
The project was dead.
What would be what's the benefit? What's the benefit? Why would he even want to do it? What's the benefit to us?
To reauthorize it and try and reopen it up?
No. What is the benefit of that pipeline flowing through vulnerable areas that need that oil with our farmland, with our waterways? What is the benefit for us as a country that pipeline get built?
The refinery was in Texas, and it would bring jobs to Texas, and it would
There's
bring
no
money to Texas.
No, it wouldn't bring money to Texas. It doesn't send it to a refinery. It sends it south. Texas deals with sweet crude oil. Texas, Louisiana, they deal with sweet crude oil. We export oil and import oil that we can refine. That is the way it's worked for decades.
Well, yeah, exactly. And you can see how if we don't have anything to export, and if we're not exporting any oil,
we're not exporting it. That's not our oil.
Okay, look, this is a nothing burger of a conversation. It had been killed by the Supreme Court. There's no way we could circumvent that, regardless of what argument you have.
And it's not our oil. It's not our oil. It's not going to
I
us.
never said
it's
it
not
was
benefiting us. They're literally like, it would be like if someone was like, hey, we want to transport this oil pipeline through the middle of your house because that's the only way that we can get it to where we want it to go. If it spills, we don't want to have to pay as much. And also, you're not going to get any benefit because all that oil is going to go to the next person. It's going to go down the road. Why would we sign off on that?
for money.
What money?
Like I said, the jobs. The actual oil exports.
It's 18,000 temporary jobs. Joe Biden has created far more than that.
I'm reading an article.
So you want to destroy?
Hold on, Tom. Let me answer, buddy. Let me answer. You just asked me
the
for
U.S.
an answer.
Senate.
I'm reading an article
the U.S. Senate
from the U.S. Senate.gov.
Okay,
it says
that
if the president
can be.
had not canceled
hold
it.
on.
Let me finish, buddy.
I'm trying to. Okay, you read your stupid article, and then I'll just destroy it. You just I'm just going to destroy the argument. I don't even want to waste my time with it. The Senate and who can post to the Senate. Can you stop crying? The Senate and who can post to the Senate. Okay, is Republicans. Democrats can post their over there. Republicans. It's not an unbiased source. It's a partisan source. It's in fact the worst source that you can.
Why are you trying to discredit my source? Like before I've even said what the source is saying.
Because I could go in there and find one about. I could go in there and find one from the Senate about how Donald Trump committed X amount of crimes, and you would disagree with it because it would be partisanship.
Okay, well, let me just read this real quick. It would have created a positive economic impact of $3.6 to $9.6 billion, and it would have created between 16,000 and 59,000 jobs. So yes,
temporary.
It would have helped out the U.S. economy.
Temporary. That's in construction.
Temporary jobs.
Not maintenance.
And I don't care about the $3.5 billion. What do you think
Plenty
the cost
of work
to clean
comes
up is going to cost?
Temporary jobs.
Hey guys, if you are enjoying the show, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below. And if you want to support the channel, you guys can become a YouTube member on this channel, or preferably join the Patreon in the link tree in the bio. Also in the link tree is my TikTok, Instagram, Twitch, and the OK Hi YouTube, which I post news to on a regular basis. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Building a house is temporary. That can't be forever.
Stop. What do you think the cost to clean up an oil spill in one of our major waterways that flows across is going to be? Let's just start there. There.
I think it's
where does the $3.5 billion come from?
How many major oil spills have happened from over the land pipelines versus actual oil drilling?
Lots. It happens all the time. The Keystone Pipeline, not the XL, the Keystone Pipeline literally spilled like 250,000 gallons within a month. It happens all the time.
Yeah, this was December 7th, 2022. 14,000 barrels of oil leaked into a creek in Washington County, Kansas.
It happens all the time.
So, this was Keystone,
by
the way.
I just brought this up because I just wanted to have you admit that Biden did have a part in this.
Oh my God.
I don't think it matters, bro. You're literally saying I can't give you a benefit other than, so you're telling me we're going to risk
$10 billion and 50,000 jobs.
Talking. Stop yapping, man. For the love of God. Stop interrupting me.
I gave you the benefit. And
Stop. I'm asking you what you're saying that the benefit of us putting an oil pipeline over our land that puts it at risk Native American waterways of farmers, and our farmland is beneficial, so beneficial that we should do it for $10 billion. Do you have any idea what the cleanup of this is going to be? The long-term implications of destroying and having to move an entire Native American tribe because you've destroyed the waterway? That's why it was denied. That's why not even the Republican Supreme Court could be like, oh, because even if you want to say $10 billion, what's the cleanup cost if you spill it into a major Native American waterway of moving an entire reservation or bringing in fresh water? Do you see what happened? What did it cost? Hold on, really quick. What happened? How much did it cost to fix? What was the estimated cost to fix Flint?
I can't tell you the cost of a hypothetical tragedy happening. That's impossible.
I can tell you that this is not a hypothetical. It happens all the time.
No, the situation you're talking about of this pipeline leaking oil into a natural waterway.
This is why it was denied. It's not hypothetical. That's why it was denied. It was denied because it violated the Clean Air and Water Act. That's why it was shot down. And you still have not really given me benefit. You've said $10 billion that you literally gave me a source from by Republicans. You literally gave me a Republican source, and you're dying on this hill, and you're saying that, hey, we should destroy waterways or have the potential to destroy waterways, not for some time, but forever, because you want to get $10 billion. You should go look up what a super cleanup site is. Do you know what that is?
Sure.
What is it?
clean up oil spills.
No,
right.
it's what the
Okay.
federal government designates as a specifically incredibly either toxic or there's some like radioactivity or something to that degree where it's so incredibly expensive that it's classified in its own bracket. Flint, Michigan is one. Washington State, Hanford Reach is one. That's where they built the bomb. Like
Okay,
these
that's fine.
these super sites are insanely expensive. Just I think it was $200 billion for Flint. I could be wrong on that number. It's over $350 billion for Hanford Reach for the toxic shit they have. Those are super sites that we have to deal with. There's like 20 plus of them across the country. And you're saying we should do without another one. Also in Montana with the Burke Pit.
We can move on, bro. We can move on. I already said before, we can move on. And you guys have been locked in on
tonight. Like, just admit fault.
I don't know. Just admit, like
you guys are just
you don't have anything.
We're
because
right.
I'm right. I know, and you think that $10 billion is worth the potential super site disaster in the future.
Potential. Keyword there.
I'm sorry, man. You're too dumb for this conversation. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I would rather talk to a wall. I would rather pound sand. Whenever you're doing something that could have potentially negative consequences, you have to recognize what the negative consequences are and factor that into your decision. Okay? Like you have to factor that into your decision because that cost what like the risk reward type thing is important. The risk reward on this is potential super site for $10 billion. It's crazy to me. And if you're upset that somehow he cost $10 billion that you cited from Republicans, which I'm going to tell you right now, the numbers 18,000 jobs is not creating $10 billion. It's just not going to happen. All that steel is going to be shipped over from overseas. The people that work on it, it's not creating all. And if you're so concerned about the jobs, why don't you go ahead and praise Joe Biden? Most month-over-month job growth since the 1960s. Lowest unemployment in over 40 years. Most amount of oil America has ever produced. Nay. Any country on earth has produced. We are more energy independent now than we were 70 years ago. I think we broke full-time energy independence under Joe Biden, like in May or something of last year. Do they care? No, they don't. They're just talking pieces.
These people that jerk off to the Keystone XL say absolutely nothing about the Willow Project. And never have. Probably never will.
No, they won't. They won't. It's because they truly just want to destroy our country they just want to destroy our country. That's pretty much it. That's been their whole goal. I don't know if they're doing it purposefully at this point, but they sure as aren't trying to conceal it. Oh yeah, the risk reward on it. Yeah, it's totally okay that we would poison entire waterways. It's like trying to defend like Rick Schneider switching over the waterway in Flint, Michigan and poisoning tens of thousands of people.
Well, it is
a possibility. I mean, it is a possibility, but look at how much money we'll save. I mean, it could happen. There's just some things you don't do. And you don't do because the risk benefit not there, right? The risk benefit is not there. Like, I don't agree that with the Willow Project, but the environmental impact statements all say the same thing on this, right? It's pretty relatively safe. And they want to point to this super disgusting crude oil as this that's not ours. We're not making money off. And we have to foot the bill if the spills because they got a lower rate on insurance from pumping oil through there. Also cause oil prices to go up in the Midwest. And we probably never would have seen it. This is a political football that these guys don't understand. And they just die on this hill because they're quite frankly clueless. Why are you upset about the Keystone XL? Joe Biden is producing, if you want to say that it's his fault, which I don't believe it is, but there is more oil being produced under Joe Biden than any other country in world history. So why aren't you praising him? Because
that's why.
You are political hacks.